Hey there, Gemini. How you doing? I'm here with your January 2025 general astrology reading. So I'm placing myself in a mindset to stay grounded right here on January the 1st in the house system. So the first house going to have Taurus. It's going to have up in there is Uranus retrograde, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, and the Fruitona. But, it's going to be interesting because the 7th house has Scorpio. No planets, but the 7th house of partners still has Scorpio. Sometimes with Scorpio and partners, regardless of it, it could lead to unwanted attractions at times. Right? So Gemini, you have really been busy with Jupiter right now. A lot of talk been going around it. I don't know how y'all been feeling, but let me get 2 cards right now. 2 oracle cards. Let's talk about the brighter side of the day, and let's talk about the dark side of the month. Okay? The dark side of the month and the light side of the month. And I'm going to get 2 oracle cards for that. Okay? I have 2 oracle cards for Gemini general astrology reading for January 2025. May I have 1 card to represent the first half of the month, and 1 oracle card to represent the second half. I know I did say Gemini the better and the darker half, but I'm going to do it this way, okay? Alright, so universe, may I have 1 card one at a time. 1 for the first half of the month and 1 for the second half of the month. Alright, Gemini, first half of the month. What would it be feeling like for Gemini on the first half of the month? Boy, Gemini, it's a lot of people that I'll be talking to, but hopefully they'll give me just 1 card for the first half. 1 oracle card for the first half of January for Gemini. January 2025. See, it's like coming out without 3 of them. I mean, I probably do have it, but what about the second half? Okay. The Porter Keeper. Alright, I'll take that one. We'll read it. What about that? That'll work? That'll kill time. Okay. I have the second oracle card for the second half of January for Gemini. I love talking to my ancestors as I do this, right? I love to have my conversations when I'm talking. I love being real. I don't love editing on this out. I do this for myself. Keep me in line. I never know. The authenticity. It makes me feel comfortable being authentic with myself. Now, the overall objective for the month and your energy in this shadow card, transformation. So, the 7th house is going to be very prominent for you than anything. Now, the 7th house got Scorpio in the beginning, and at the end of the month it has Sagittarius. That's it. We got transformation. That's pretty. Let's read the let me find my box. There we go. And let's read this one. Let's read the first one at least. Number 50. Let's read it. The portal keeper. Put this out so I can hold the card up. Let's look at this beautiful thing together. Alright. Look at that portal keeper. Unique gateways to mystical experiences, psychic ability, raising your vibration, expand consciousness, the Akash records, past lifetimes, exploring the edges of reality for significant messages, seeing between the lines, multidimensional awareness. As we become more sensitive and aware, we are more receptive to mystical experiences. We can realize that there are overlaying realities that seem just as real, if not more vibrant and profound, than the familiar everyday one. There's a theory that space and time are constructs that allow our human minds to grasp sequence in chronological order and enable us to orient and move forward through reality. In their current evolution, humans are only using a small portion of their brain capacity. If we unlock our mind's potential, what would fathom that we can't now? There's information out there that isn't real to us until we glimpse it with our senses. The beings of Lemuria involved with different kind of intelligence. They are very skilled at harnessing energy from natural and abundant forces such as crystals, the heart of the earth, and the moon. They could share complex information without words. The Lemurians operated in multiple realms at will and could disappear from human perception. Technically, they were in the same location but in an overlaying reality, a parallel dimension which could not be very different. So, that is sweet though. Let me go ahead and finish reading all that. It's not but a little bit left. Psychically, advanced people can sense decarnated souls, elements in nature, and spirit guides. They can also see the information in energy fields. These perceptions, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, are still connected to this reality, but are examples of what can happen when we raise our consciousness or train ourselves to sublets of what is happening around us. In essence, we share our physical location with overlying beings and energies and can raise our lower vibration. I thought it was a little bit left, but it really wasn't. The divination meaning of this card: gently explore the edges of your reality. Spend time in your forest to listen. Deepen your meditation practice. Dance yourself into ecstasy. Explore psychic tools and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or life seems a little mundane, remember that there is never a reason to be bored. What we experience with our physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look behind the lines to limitless discovery. That's sweet. So what you think could really be going on? You know what I'm saying, Gemini? I mean, Jupiter is guided. You know, Mercury is in Sagittarius right about now, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Are they still in Sagittarius? Yeah. So Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius in January too. Now, Mercury does move to Aquarius by the end of January. And it is going to be in the 10th house. And the reason why I'm speaking of Mercury right now at this point in time, because of the Sagittarius and the way that it comes, and Mercury is one of your ruling planets. So being that Mercury is one of those ruling planets, it has a keen eye to be a little humorous, a little sarcastic when things ain't really that familiar. And, you know, really actually engaging into the Lemuria aspect of it, to be in that other percent of your brain you really become a target for people when you do be clairvoyant and clairaudience, when you might feel like you could see things like Lemuria, and that, you know, I might call them kindred spirits compared to how the book is just giving them their habitational name to it. And then, you know, even when they fight for your justice, and being that Lilith is in the sixth house of routine with Virgo, it's some great things that really can be lined up. So let's pull some tarot cards here and see what this Porter Keeper going to be offering you, Gemini, during January. How you doing? Again, now I have 3 cards for the Porter Keeper here for Gemini General Astrology reading. That's 1. Need 2 more. There go 2. And 3. And we have for the shadow card here, the King of Cups. The King of Cups. The first card that came out face down. Oh, and we in reverse. The 2 of Swords. And then we have the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Cups. Oh. You know, Gemini, I guess, you have a thing when it comes to relationships. You have textbook definitions. And when I say textbook definition, it's because I don't know if in 2024 going into 2025 whether it's appropriate to say common sense anymore. I'm a Gen X. When I was coming up, we had common sense. I don't know if it's even appropriate to say going with the flow, you know. With this type of energy that's coming about in this portal, it's a lot of unionization. I feel like there's going to be a generational ripple that goes through. It's the universe with this Jupiter retrograde that's influencing Gemini. It's a ripple of generational curses that's rippling out in an evolutionary way. So, like, if you're in a relationship because of this ripple effect, you might not want to be in it no more. Especially if you into finding that soulmate and, you know, the new prominent things that's here, finding that one that's really going to make you happy. If, you know, whatever pathway that looks like for you, how to make sure that your devotional aspect going to be to that specific prototype that you desire. Now, with the Ace of Swords going on in this generational ripple, right? Gemini, you have a way to be. The Gemini constellation has a way to be independent through just the statement of Hermes. See, Hermes was very popular in itself. So within the deep subconscious of our mind, Mercury exists in the pronunciation. Hermes exists in the pronunciation of Gemini, far as a clairaudience, a silent clairaudience speaking event that takes place. And with that, the Gemini constellation has a great great outlook to be leaders. Even if they gang-related leaders, or they in the Senate, are they CEOs of companies, Geminis have a way to be in those places that keep the communication to go around, right? And it seems like being in the beginning of the year going into January, you're going to be in those positions again. It's like you're going to have different, I guess you're going to be like confidants depending on how your counseling abilities work, far as how you give advice in situations, who you give advice to, what type of advice you give to, and of course it comes with parties between family, friends, co-workers, strangers, and so forth on, depending on whether you in non-profit organizations and doing things all around the world. So some things that you might run into, probably some issues with, especially with Taurus being in the first house and then going to the 12th house. But in the beginning, it's in the first house, right? You want your money to be right. And the thing about your money being right, some of those moments of times of you trying to fight for it, it's going to be based off of that generational ripple effect. So really, it's like, how do you handle rejections? Going to determine how your beginning of the year is. It's all about how you handle rejections in majority of some everyday situations. What does a rejection look like for you, and how is it done? Going to be the thing here. Let's see. Let's look together. I am so curious to see what's underneath of this King of Cups. What did it say? Yeah, that's right. 5 of Cups. The face. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, money. Money going to be... Money going to be that supernatural portal, to be honest. This portal keeper going to look like money. And the best thing I could say is make sure live with your decisions. It's going to determine whether you make it through the other end of the portal. And you won't necessarily know whether you made it or didn't make it, because some of this stuff, because of the type of energy that's like influencing the conscientiousness right now, with this first house in Jupiter retrograde, right, with Taurus in the beginning, coming in with this generational curse stuff coming down. A lot of people, like, you're going to support it. It's certain things that you done to build your foundation to your success and work life, right? Whether it's all this digital platform and all of that kind of stuff. So you're going to fight for the things that's meant to be within the generational curse. And that can fluctuate anywhere in your life. Like, it can make you walk out of relationships, don't want to be bothered. It just depends on your location, age, position. I mean, I don't know how the universe do everything, regardless of whatever I see. I don't like coming into, it's so many people, like over billions of people in the world. I'm fucked up in the game. Do you fucking hear me? If it's that many people, shit, I'm lost in trying to figure out anybody else's other than mine. But what I can do is tell you about the energy and describe what I do see to help you out as you go through the month. So y'all, like, A lot of y'all are already, some of y'all in success. I mean, personally speaking, while I'm doing this video, since your energy all about keeping it fucking real, let's do this shit. What is the average rate of my views really about to fucking be? So really, and then not only that, some of these people that's in these positions here, that's Geminis, is way too much. Like, I haven't even went to my first CEO meeting in any state whatsoever. I haven't even went to a CEO banker. I haven't went to a national CEO to look around. Like, let's keep shit real in the fucking consciousness of it, right? That's all I'm just trying to say. So, when it comes to it, like I said, that money is going to be that keeper, like, in that decisions that you making, money gonna circle around that shit. I'm gonna tell you that. Money for Gemini right now going to be circular, whether it's going to be you catch the money, don't catch the money, but your beginning month of January is like you is in a fucking machine that's dropping money, and you got to catch as much as you can. Now, before you walked in that machine, did you make a deal and say you keep what you catch? What is you in there for? Now, I'm just describing the metaphor because this shit could be like, you could actually go and buy you a car on January the 5th of 2025. You can drive that motherfucker right off the lot. Get on the next closest interstate just to sit there and have that feeling. And somebody that sat there and smacked your ass right off that fucking road. That's money too. So, I'm just saying, money is the keeper of it. It just is. In these situations, it's going to manifest. So, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? You paying your rent? You paying your mortgage? So, right there, that could be the most simplest complexity. You got a rent, you got a mortgage to pay, you know what time you're going to pay it, how you're going to pay it. Okay, that one thought right there is already under control. If you got that one part under control, then you are good. Now, are you sitting here trying to seek a second job, or are you trying to date people with a certain amount of income? Do you want to wait until you have a certain amount of income before having a kid? Are you saving up money to invest in a remodel situation in your home, in your workspace? Are you doing any of that? All of that involves money. How do you grocery shop? Have your grocery stores changed somewhere in your environment? That's going to affect your way of money. So the whole point a little bit in this is your end goal that you could also play in your fleshly being, and that's like striving to live another day. But it's so harsh, and I'm a Scorpio, so I try to be a little bit fluffy because I can be a little bit not. Just being blunt. Like, I know every day I wake up, I be like, shit, I'm in the game for the fittest. What is this game called? Am I going to live until I sleep again? Am I going to go to sleep? I'm going to act like I'm scared. Now, throughout my day, what I know my body going to tell me to do, make sure you eat, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. It's going to let me know when to go to the bathroom, all that good stuff. So I got an alarm system going off that works with me. Alright, so the second half of the month seemed like and that might be lead me to where I'm at, all about freedom. Sometimes these situations could be all about discomfort that's coming up inside of here. Like, something your kid did. You're like, why are you still thinking like that? And you're trying to figure out, why are they still thinking like that? That shit could be wrecking your fucking brain. Oh, why? But nonetheless, in the beginning half of the month, even when I was talking about the money in the portal, money been around your kid the whole time. Maybe you might not be giving your kid no money in this time. Maybe it's just you just trying to figure out the way they are, so you can't put two and two together. That's no, I can't do nothing about that. I don't even always put two and two together because the universe have things predestined, and there's an energetic field that's here that I don't know how to explain. And I love when I hear quantum physics people use all those fucking words for it, all the way down to portals dropping down. Like, the words is magnificent. I understand what everybody's saying. I just don't want to invest into talking like that when I got an opportunity to talk like this. So, and they didn't afford me that opportunity. They didn't want me to be in quantum physics. They wanted me to be here in tarot. So let me stay in my motherfucking lane too. So that's what freedom is all about too. I'm telling you, Gemini, this Jupiter is a monster. This baby is a monster. Let's read a little bit of freedom and then I'm going to wrap this up. They wanted me to read some of it. Okay, I'm going to just read the divination meaning. The divination meaning. Bring a deeper sense of freedom to a situation. A limitation may be a state of mind, a shift of perspectives can help bring a sense of lightness and choice. Also consider what freedom looks like to you in the bigger picture of your life. If you are feeling stealth in an environment, it is up to you to make a change. Add pleasurable moments or practices that cultivate a sense of greater freedom in your day-to-day life. If you are currently experiencing greater freedom, you may be feeling unsettled. Consider whether it is the kind you were looking for. If you feel underground and lost, perhaps you could add some structure to the world to optimize your freedom. And you know, that goes for different people who, the different rights we have. Like, whew, I don't even know sometimes, like the medical field, what is your rights? All through and through. Like, what is your rights? We got a whole group of doctors that's really from the time we started want to believe everything started. Because, I mean, we doing the herbs right now. We have a whole millennium of Z's and new nurses, doctors that came from No Child Left Behind. Like, it was easy to pass under favoritism. I witnessed all of this. Like, I have my own kids that's in this age group. I witnessed, like, favoritism was a motherfucker that got you a fucking A. With the support of technology rising, the participation, as long as you showed up, as long as you act like you did it, you got credit. People around here on social media, fuck education. Education don't mean that. It won't never solving the fucking problem. Never solving the fucking problem. So, the whole point is we, for example, as a world, we have engaged and build more in this fuck around and favoritism world. We all have been supporting some way for technology to start being the ones that give us the answers. Now, it's not going to stop us from blaming how the next person died or what went wrong or what stopped somebody from arriving. We still have all these problems. Because even when people don't know or cannot connect the universe all the way to quantum physics to religion, because there's supposed to be a boundary breaker, right? There's one general thing that people always talk about. Something happened when it's always meant to happen. So whether you could assign that to a deity, it's already assigned to science. One basic law: things going to happen when it's meant to happen. One famous basic law. And that shit's still going to happen with all these errors, no matter how far we go. So when it's asking you if this freedom is what you desired, and you not content with what you desired, what went wrong in it? I remember when I was going to school, I read a book, and it talked about freedom. And it talked about in some African African, whatever, the black people, the dark skinned people, the people that look like me type of people, culture, right? That one wise person said, you're never free until you die. When I read that shit, I really had to ponder on that. And I told myself, I said, you know what? I don't even think we're free when we die. I think freedom is where we can't solve the perplexity of gravity. Why do we walk and stay close to the concrete? Why do we breathe the air and never question the oxygen in a tank when we're sitting in a hospital? Why do we automatically be born and give immunizations and still look for an alien in a spaceship? And we could build all of that, and it still would not be us. Everything would still be outside of us. So when things always be outside of you, freedom is always on the run. You're always running for freedom. Can I have a 3-card clarification here for freedom? And so I can wrap this video up. I have 2 cards. Oh, there you go. We have the Chariot, exactly. Freedom is always on the run. Freedom moves like the air in the ocean. It even feels still like the earth that we walk on. Freedom is the thing that we love before we learn that we loved ourselves. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. So by the time the end of the month comes around and whatever situations that arouse, what are you getting upset for because it's normal? It's normal to be that way. It's all about life. When do we know that we gave up with inside of freedom? Do a lot of people realize when they say, I don't give no fucks? There's a lot of people that's sitting in a hopeless pit of freedom. Because that's the ultimate lie that we could lie to ourselves. I got part of the trend, but then I got off of it. Because I was like, I can't trend with y'all. I am changing so rapidly, I need to understand what the fuck is going on with me. I can't go this path with y'all. Because it's certain shit I do give a fuck about. I mean it to the sense like, it's cool, you got the right, you don't like my ass, that's cool. I'm cool about you not liking my ass, okay? But I'm going to give a fuck if you try to come after me and my body want to react and be in a self-defensive mood. I'm going to give a fuck then, okay? Now, do I care if sometimes certain things with all the magical shit and people casting spells and all this shit around this motherfucker? Do I care? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put shit out there, but I'm going to be to the point that I know what I'm saying and I can handle my responsibility. That's that 5 of Swords shit. For real, that's the 5 of fucking Swords with the fucking Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in it, of that shit. And look at this. Look at that design on that motherfucker right there. Look at that shit. You got it right. Fuck, like, think I'm this. Okay. But when you start, like, trying to cause intentional harm, I give a fuck. I'm not even the type that's going to sit here and be like, oh, because I got a protection spell. Fuck that shit. I didn't been inside myself and started understanding the manifestation process, the Hermetic philosophy in it, and the roles that we play with manifesting the reality. Every chance that we blink, every moment we talk, every second we breathe in, we all contribute with it. And fuck if I'm going to act like I'm not in this dimension with a motherfucker who using dimensional tools to come after me. Like, what? So, the final card that came out, there you go, the Emperor. Hey, be about your shit. And that's why the shadow card is transformation. Be about your shit. And I'm going to be about my shit. They ain't going to sit here and be like, oh, let me throw something. No, I'm not Lil Wayne. Okay? I'll probably be the second one to shoot. Unless you obviously in front of me, you're giving me an opportunity to choose a weapon. Like if we going back to the gladiator time, you giving me an opportunity to choose a weapon and we're on the battlefield together. Now that's a whole fucking difference. But in the dark side of it, no. I'm gonna end up taking a hit first. Because karma is more greater after I take the hit. In my opinion. You can't know the strength to give back to somebody. You can't even know what harm they cause until it happens. If I survive it, then it's giving me an opportunity to treat your ass the way you motherfucking want to be treated. That's all to it. So Gemini, you might have a gangster ass month. You got to figure it all out yourself. January seemed very Jupiter retrograde with a lot of things that's going on and getting caught up with a lot of situations all over the world, right? So wherever y'all Geminis at, just be true to yourself in whatever way it rolls, because, you know, Taurus is going to the 12th house by the end, and Jupiter going to be there in the 12th house, and that's his house. Now, Gemini like Mercury. But if we want to go through all the debates, especially with January being the month of transfer of power, presidential holidays, and everything in the month of January, you got to include Hermes as one of those Greek people. Philosophy used those foundations, at least in this country right here, to help create the foundational rules of the White House. So, this Jupiter retrograde is bringing in a lot of legacy in a new ass way. And it's only new because I mine. What did it say? What's your cards on? Freedom. And a portal keeper. Our mind only going to believe, but so much is real are true.